Everybody likes cats. And why wouldn't you? They're fuzzy, cute, lovable little rascals that have been by humanity's side since ancient Egypt. Cats are great! But your fuzzy little friend might have a secret. Did you know that a notable portion of cats host a parasite known as Toxoplasmosis gondii? The life cycle of this parasite starts in rodents and ends in cats, but can be passed to humans through any number of activities with your feline friends. While there is no concrete proof, it's a common theory that Toxoplasmosis gondii is the reason why, 50 years ago in 1973, some human infants began to be born with abnormal skull growth and cat-like tails. Perhaps the parasite had simply swapped some essential DNA, or perhaps it was just some divine intervention at play. We really have no clue. But ever since that day, catfolk have grown to take up a whopping 0.5% of the entire world's population. Today, in this PSA, I'm here to educate you on catfolk and how you can live alongside them. Catfolk have a few distinct biological differences from human anatomy. Their pupils are slitted like feline eyes and perfect for seeing in the dark, but are also able to make out the same range of colors as humans. Their ears take on a large feline shape and sprout from the top of the head, with the ear canals running down either side of the head through a divot in the skull. Additionally, they are 3 times as sensitive and contain muscles allowing them to move, oftentimes for the purpose of displaying emotions. For example, flattened ears means you've likely done something very wrong and made the cat person in question quite uncomfortable. They also have a much stronger sense of smell compared to humans. Their teeth are sharp and more akin to human-sized cat teeth rather than the traditional human teeth. Their hair is more akin to fur rather than regular human hair, and can come in a variety of lengths, colors, and textures depending on genetics and breed, but it will react according to their stress levels. Their vocal cords also appear different, as they can nearly perfectly recreate every vocalization that a cat may, from hissing to meowing to yowling to purring. Now, a small note, if a cat is purring, that does not immediately mean they're having a good time. Purring is used to self-soothe. If you're hitting on a cat girl and she's purring at you, that doesn't mean you're scoring. It might mean she's severely uncomfortable and trying not to show it. Purring does not equal consent. Keep that in mind, fellas. Catfolk also have different forelimbs, with their fingers sporting sharp, retractable claws that require constant pressure through scratching in order to shed properly. They also seem to sport an array of fur of similar consistency to that on their head that goes from the hand to the wrist all the way up to the elbow, sometimes even farther. Their paws have opposable thumbs, but retain the sensitive paw pads or toe beans on the bottom of their fingers and toes. They appear to have no appendix and are almost universally lactose intolerant past the age of 8. Similarly, they cannot consume coffee, chocolate, alcohol, grapes, allium vegetables, or citrus fruit, as it might make them very, very ill or even kill them. Furthermore, it's not uncommon for some females to have health-related hysterectomies. Now, don't go around using the word spay when referring to a cat girl that has undergone such a procedure. That is considered very offensive and will probably get you clawed. Catfolk walk on their toes and have a set of retractable claws on their feet as well. Their paws stretch from their feet to their calves or to their knees. And no, if dropped from a high place, they don't land right side up. Even if they did, it would still hurt a lot. Now, while catfolk might seem pretty awesome, and believe me, there's a lot to love about them, their sudden appearance did not come without drawbacks. A lot of societal issues have sprung up involving them, so much so that this PSA is probably interrupting some rather horrific news story right now.
This is the developing story, and we will keep you updated as more...
Every possible horrible thing that could happen to a human being has been conducted on these poor creatures in the 50 years since they were first born. The US recently had to put in a law to ensure their safety. Catfolk are legally considered to be Homo sapiens and have the same rights and freedoms as human beings. Discrimination of any kind is illegal, and catfolk in particular are considered a protected minority. It only took until the mid-90s for these to be implemented, so good job, government. One of your faster legislations. Oh, come on, I'm allowed to make jokes like that. Okay, let's move on. Another important factoid is that quote-unquote big catfolk are also counted as regular everyday catfolk. Think of it as the difference between a lion and a house cat. Regular catfolk are more accepted into society because they're less disruptive, for lack of a better term. Big catfolk are often stigmatized, but keep in mind, especially if you're a business owner, even if they are fierce-looking, and even if they are more muscular and significantly taller, and usually contain some supernatural capabilities like incredible speed, strength, and bite force, they're still people. And they still need jobs to survive. There are many different kinds of cat person, really, not just the big ones. Based on the regions they originated from, regular cats are often assigned breeds. For instance, a color point catfolk may be from Thailand, and a Persian may be from Persia. We have no idea why this is. If our research was better funded, we might have a more convincing lie to tell you. What? We don't know. Fun fact, catfolk with white hair and blue eyes have a much higher chance of being deaf. Similarly, it is impossible for a calico cat to be assigned male at birth, and very, very unlikely for a tortoiseshell cat to be as well. There have only been 4 recorded cases of AMAB torties, and 1 transitioned into a woman, the other 2 are no longer with us. The 4th works in STEM. I've heard they're a prodigy in their field. Catfolk fall under the same intelligence bell curve as humans, however, they almost universally have a kind of anxiety disorder, as well as something neurologically very similar to ADHD. This, we believe, is because of their hunting instincts conflicting with daily life. Similarly, male catfolk are often found to have testosterone deficiencies. 5% of all catfolk have some kind of gender dysphoria, body dysmorphia, or even species dysphoria. We don't know why that is, but if this scientist had to take a guess, it would be due to the differences in human and cat hormone levels, causing some unintended side effects in catfolk development, but again, that is unproven. Male humans breeding with female catfolk is impossible. Sorry, fellas, or I suppose good for you depending on your angle. Oh, come on, that was funny. However, male catfolk breeding with female humans create a 50% chance of catfolk children. That is, if they can actually get the woman pregnant. There is still a 2% chance that a regular human couple might produce a catfolk child for reasons we still don't understand. And if 2 catfolk have kittens together, there is a 100% chance those kittens will be cats. Actually, considering their birth rate, it's a 300%. Yes, catfolk kittens are often much smaller, averaging at 3 to 4 pounds at birth, and come in trios and quartets. Each kitten can even have a different father from their siblings. However, the average age of the average catfolk is 24 years old, so many of them are not financially steady enough to have... Not many of them are self-reliant homeowners just yet. They can't always take care of their young, or at least not all of them. 50% of all catfolk youth end up unhoused, either homeless or living in state shelters, and that's where they need your help. Introducing Project Safetykit, a safe place for kittens to become citizens. Do you want an awesome house paid for by the government? What about tax deductions, a monthly check, the love and warmth of a found family, routine computer checks and health inspections nigh constantly to make sure that nothing up is happening? An extensive background history scan, over 300 pages of paperwork, free healthcare? You might be eligible for Project Safetykit, a new way of housing and fostering the troubled wildcats of the streets and guiding them towards a better, safer, kinder tomorrow. Because, at the end of the day, we're all human beings. This PSA was funded by Project Safetykit. You cannot apply for Project Safetykit if you've committed a felony, misdemeanor, sexual offense, case of child neglect, child abuse, animal neglect, animal abuse, preposition, cat allergies, or not been proper training.
And so we must ask ourselves, when will the violence be over?